In the grand halls of the Galactic Council, voices of countless alien species echoed like thunder. The chamber was vast, glowing with cold lights, filled with the banners of ancient empires. These were civilizations that had ruled the stars for thousands of years, empires of power, pride, and arrogance. And tonight they laughed. The subject of their laughter was Earth. At the center of the chamber, a hologram of the small blue planet rotated slowly. One alien delegate, a scaled reptilian with crimson eyes, pointed to it with a mocking grin. This is the world they call Earth, a weak, fragile ball of water and dirt. Its people are soft. Its fleets are toys. Tell me, friends, how can such a species ever stand in the galaxy? Laughter shook the chamber. Another alien, tall and insectoid, slammed its claw against the desk. I have seen their ships, old hulls patched together, engines barely holding. They are like children, building castles of sand. A single wave and it all falls down. Indeed, added a third, a noble from the proud Valcor Dominion. His voice was sharp, dripping with arrogance. Humanity is not a threat. Humanity is entertainment. They speak of freedom, of pride, of survival. But what are they? Late arrivals to the stars. They are nothing but prey. The chamber filled with cruel applause. For the galaxy's great powers, Earth was nothing more than a joke. A new species crawling into the void, believing it could rise among giants. The council dismissed humanity as weak, harmless, unworthy of respect. Yet far away beyond the laughter and insults, humanity listened. Deep in the underground command centers of Earth, leaders sat in silence. The mocking words of the council reached their ears, carried through intercepted transmissions and broken messages. The room was dark, lit only by the glow of holographic screens. On them, images of alien fleets appeared, vast armadas of thousands, of ships, stretching across the stars like endless storms. The humans studied them carefully. They laugh at us, one admiral said quietly. His voice carried no anger, only a steady resolve. They think we are weak. They believe our fleets are scraps, our colonies fragile. Let them think so. Across the table, another general leaned forward. His eyes burned with determination. We have been underestimated before. On Earth, history is filled with empires that mocked us until they fell. Let the galaxy laugh. They do not know what we are building. They do not know what is waiting. And indeed, the galaxy had no idea. For decades, while alien eyes mocked Earth's tiny ships, humanity had been preparing. Hidden far from curious sensors, shipyards and asteroid belts worked without rest. Deep beneath Earth's oceans, colossal factories forged weapons of terrifying power. On distant moons, training grounds prepared soldiers not just for war, but for survival in the harshest of battles. The galaxy believed humans were slow and weak. The truth was far more dangerous. Humans were patient. Back in the council chamber, the laughter grew louder. Alien rulers raised their voices, speaking of how easy it would be to crush Earth if it dared to resist. One fleet would be enough, boasted the reptilian delegate. We could erase their colonies in days. Their people would beg for chains. The insectoid added, why waste fleets? A single strike would shatter them. Humanity is nothing. They are too soft, too emotional. They break easily. The Valcor noble smirked. Then perhaps we should strike soon. Crush them now before they dream of strength. Their world would make a fine jewel in our empire. The chamber roared with approval. Mockery became threats. Threats became plans. The galaxy was preparing to move against Earth. But what they did not know, what none of them could see, was that Earth was already moving against them. Across the void, human warships waited in silence. They were not as many as the alien fleets, not as beautiful, not as ancient, but they were different. Where alien ships were made for display, for pride, for ceremony, human ships were built for one purpose only: survival through destruction. Heavy armor, brutal firepower, weapons designed to tear through shields and rip apart hulls. Human warships were not symbols. They were predators. In one hidden hangar, a massive destroyer came to life. Its engines rumbled, its cannons gleamed, and the workers cheered quietly as the great ship rose into the stars. On its hull, painted in bold letters, was a single name: Defiance. In another secret base, commanders watched as fleets formed in silence. Pilots suited up, their faces grim but resolute. They knew what the galaxy thought of them. They knew the laughter, the insults, the jokes, and they carried those words like fuel in their hearts. "They think we are weak," whispered one young pilot, strapping into her fighter. "Let's show them what weakness really means." Back in the council chamber, the alien rulers ended their meeting with one final burst of laughter. "Congratulations, Earth," sneered the Valkor noble. "You have entered the galaxy, but soon you will regret it." What they did not know was that Earth was already writing its answer, and that answer would shake the stars. Because while the galaxy laughed at Earth, while they mocked humanity's courage and ridiculed their strength, humans were preparing to become something far worse than anyone imagined. They were preparing to become fear itself. The first strike against humanity came without warning. It began at the edge of known space on a quiet human colony that lay hidden among the stars. The colony was small, its people simple miners, farmers, and traders. Children played in the dusty fields. Families gathered under the night sky, never imagining that the galaxy's arrogance was about to reach their doorstep. When the alien fleet arrived, the sky turned black. Enormous warships descended like predators, their engines shaking the ground, their weapons glowing with fire. The colonists rushed to shelters, their voices filled with fear. No one expected rescue. The galaxy had already decided humanity was weak. From his flagship above, the alien commander sneered. "Pathetic creatures," he said, his voice echoing across the bridge. "They will learn quickly that this galaxy has no place for them." His crew laughed, eager to record the destruction. Fire rained from the heavens. Entire settlements were burned in seconds, towers collapsed, markets turned to ash, and screams filled the night. The alien fleet moved with cruelty. Their weapons, merciless, their orders clear: erase humanity's presence. But in the darkness something stirred. A signal left the colony, a weak transmission, carried across the void of space. "This is Outpost Epsilon. We are under attack, requesting immediate assistance. Please. Anyone." The alien commander heard the call and laughed. "Let them cry. No one will answer. Their fleets are scraps, their armies a joke. Tonight, humanity dies." He was wrong. Hours later, as the colony lay in ruins, a single ship entered the system. At first, the aliens ignored it. On their scanners, it looked primitive, its hull sharp and brutal, lacking the elegance of galactic warships. It carried no escort, no fleet, just one vessel against dozens. The alien crew chuckled. "Is this it? Their champion?" The commander grinned. "Destroy it quickly." But the humans had come prepared. The lone warship moved with terrifying precision. Its engines flared, its weapons locked, and then the void thundered. Railguns fired, launching slugs at incredible speed. The first shot tore through an alien cruiser, splitting it in half. The second ripped into another vessel, sending it into flames. Missiles streaked from the human ship, weaving past defenses, detonating inside enemy hulls with brutal accuracy. In seconds, 2 alien ships were gone. Silence filled the enemy bridge. The commander rose from his chair, his face pale. "Impossible. One human ship cannot." But the human ship did not wait for his words. It struck again and again. Its weapons roared like storms, tearing through the fleet. Alien shields, once thought impenetrable, shattered under the relentless assault. Dark, colonists below watched in awe as explosions lit up the sky. For hours they had believed they would all perish, but now they saw hope. They saw one warship standing against an empire. The human vessel moved like a predator. Every strike was deliberate, every maneuver deadly. It fought not with numbers, but with intelligence and fury. It seemed to know the weaknesses of every alien ship, as if humanity had studied them for years. And perhaps they had. One by one, the alien fleet fell. Cruisers exploded. Destroyers tore apart. Battleships drifted lifelessly in the void. The commanders screamed for retreat, but hyperspace jumps failed. The humans had jammed their systems. The proud fleet that came to mock and destroy was now trapped, prey to a single hunter. At last only the flagship remained. Its hull was scarred, its weapons failing, its crew in chaos. The human warship closed in, its guns aimed, its silence louder than any threat. On the alien bridge, the commander trembled. "What are they?" he whispered. "What kind of monsters have we provoked?" The answer came not in words but in fire. The human warship unleashed its final barrage. Railguns roared, missiles streaked, and the flagship erupted in a blaze that lit the system. Silence followed. The once proud fleet was gone. The colonists, their faces wet with tears, looked to the sky. They saw the warship drifting above them, its hull glowing faintly from battle. And in that moment they understood. Earth had not abandoned them. Humanity was not weak. Humanity was dangerous. The name of the ship would spread like wildfire across the galaxy. Some would call it Defiance. Others whispered of it as the Hunter of Shadows. But whatever the name, one truth was certain. The galaxy's laughter had ended, and in its place, fear had begun. The galaxy could not believe it. One human warship had destroyed an entire alien fleet. At first, many rulers denied it. They called it lies, propaganda, a desperate trick by a desperate species. But then, wreckage began to arrive. Alien salvage crews found broken hulls drifting in the void, the remains of proud warships torn apart by brutal weapons they did not recognize. The truth spread like fire. Humanity had struck back. In council chambers, alien leaders shouted in anger, "Impossible! One ship cannot defeat many." Some claimed the humans must have cheated, using illegal weapons or forbidden technology. Others insisted it was only luck, an accident that could never happen again. But beneath their voices, behind their pride, fear grew like a shadow. And far away, deep in the darkness of space, Earth's secret was beginning to rise. For decades, while the galaxy mocked humanity, Earth had been preparing. They had studied alien technology, stolen knowledge through spies and traitors, and learned the weaknesses of every empire. In hidden shipyards carved into asteroids, in bases buried beneath frozen moons, humans had been building something far greater than anyone imagined. The alien empires thought humanity had only a handful of weak ships. The truth was terrifying. Earth had been quietly forging a fleet. In a hollowed-out asteroid near Jupiter, massive hangar doors opened for the first time. Out of the darkness, a colossal warship emerged. Its hull was black, its weapons bristling, its engines glowing with raw power. It was not sleek or beautiful like alien cruisers. It was brutal, heavy, and unstoppable. On its side, painted in bold letters, was its name: Iron Resolve. Across the solar system, more ships awakened. Frigates armed with stealth systems, carriers loaded with swarms of drones, destroyers with railguns so powerful they could split moons. They rose one by one, silent predators ready for war. In Earth's command center, the admirals watched the fleet come alive. Screens flickered with status reports, and the room filled with the low hum of readiness. Admiral Carter, a man with steel in his eyes, spoke softly. For too long they laughed at us. They thought we were children. They believed we would beg for mercy. But now, we rise. Now the galaxy will see what humanity truly is. The officers around him nodded. None smiled. They carried no joy in their hearts. This was not a war of glory. This was survival. Vengeance and justice combined into steel and fire. Training. Drills began at once. Pilots tested their fighters, pushing them through maneuvers in asteroid fields. Drone swarms were deployed, vanishing into stealth before striking targets with perfect precision. Crews ran battle simulations again and again, each time faster, sharper, deadlier. Humanity was preparing not just to fight, but to hunt. Rumors began to spread among alien spies. Some whispered of shipyards hidden beneath Earth's oceans, where submarines carried weapons that could reach the stars. Others claimed humanity had built planet-killer weapons designed to erase entire worlds. The truth was unknown, but the fear was real. One spy from the Zorathi Collective managed to capture an image of a massive human destroyer under construction. The image was grainy, blurred, but it was enough. When it reached alien leaders, silence filled the room. The ship was larger than anything humanity was supposed to build. Its guns were monstrous, its design terrifying. For the first time, alien rulers realized that their laughter might have been a mistake, but by then it was too late. The hidden fleet was ready. From Earth to Mars, from the asteroid belt to the icy moons of Saturn, warships activated. They gathered in silence, their hulls black against the void, their weapons armed. No broadcasts were sent, no warnings were given. Humanity moved like shadows, unseen and unheard. And then, the first operation began. A Karth Dominion convoy was traveling through neutral space carrying supplies to its armies. It was heavily guarded, 10 cruisers, 20 destroyers, and hundreds of fighters. Confident in their strength, the convoy moved without fear, until the humans came. Out of the void, human ships appeared. Not one, not two, but dozens. Their railguns fired in unison, their missiles streaked like fire across the dark. The convoy's defenses collapsed in minutes. The Karth ships scattered, but there was no escape. Human stealth frigates cut off their hyperspace routes. Fighters swarmed like wolves, tearing through the alien fleet. When it was over, nothing remained but wreckage. The convoy was gone, its escorts destroyed. The humans vanished again into the void, leaving only silence. The galaxy shook. The humans were no longer defending. They were attacking. In the days that followed, more convoys vanished. Supply lines broke. Fleets disappeared. The galaxy's great powers, who had once mocked Earth, now whispered in fear, "The humans are coming." And in the command halls of Earth, Admiral Carter looked at the growing fleet and said the words that would soon echo across the stars. They laughed at Earth, but soon they will learn to fear us. The galaxy had underestimated humanity. First, one warship had destroyed an entire alien fleet. Then whispers spread of hidden shipyards and massive destroyers awakening in secret. But no one truly believed what was coming next, until the hunt began. It started quietly. Alien convoys vanished without a trace. Trade routes that had always been safe suddenly went dark. Entire patrol fleets disappeared, leaving nothing but silence in the stars. At first, alien leaders thought it was pirates, or bad luck, or a few desperate human raids. But then the wreckage appeared. Convoys torn apart with brutal precision. Warships split open by railgun slugs the size of houses. Fighters shredded by swarms of drones that moved like shadows. On the hulls of some wrecks, survivors claimed they had seen human symbols painted in fire. The galaxy realized these were not accidents. They were hunts. Humanity had taken the war into enemy space. In the Karth Dominion, fear spread through the ranks. Their soldiers refused to travel without escort. Their admirals doubled defenses along their borders. But no defense was enough. Human fleets moved like ghosts, striking where no one expected, vanishing before reinforcements could arrive. In the Zorathi Collective, propaganda claimed the humans were weak, that their victories were lies. But even as speeches echoed in the streets, their fleets were being torn apart in deep space. Every day, fewer ships returned. Every day, more families mourned. Soldiers began to whisper the words the leaders dared not say. "We are being hunted." One battle shocked the entire galaxy. The Valkor Dominion sent a fleet of 50 warships to crush a suspected human outpost. They entered the system proudly, weapons ready. But when they arrived, there was nothing, only empty space and silence. Then the trap closed. Human ships decloaked all around them. Not hundreds, only a handful. But every strike was perfect. Railguns tore through shields, missiles slipped into engines, fighters swarmed like wolves. The Valkor fleet tried to retreat, but hyperspace drives refused to respond. Human hackers had disabled them. In less than an hour, the entire fleet was gone. The Valkor Dominion, once the loudest voice mocking Earth, fell silent. From world to world, the story spread. Humanity was no longer fighting for survival. They were striking back. They were not prey, they were predators. Alien commanders changed their strategies. They stopped sending convoys. They hid their fleets inside fortified systems. They ordered patrols to avoid human space at all costs. But still, the hunters came. One night, above a mining world in the outer rim, the sky turned to fire. Human destroyers appeared without warning, their cannons blazing. In less than 20 minutes, the mines were destroyed, the defenses shattered, and the human fleet gone again, leaving nothing but silence. In a distant nebula, an alien research station picked up a faint signal. At first they thought it was static. Then the words became clear. It was a human transmission repeating again and again. We remember. The meaning was unmistakable. Humanity remembered the colonies that burned, the families enslaved, the laughter of alien rulers. Now they were answering. Fear spread faster than fire. Smugglers told stories of human ships appearing out of nowhere, striking with deadly accuracy. Traders swore they had seen entire fleets vanish, swallowed by shadows. Soldiers refused to board their ships, whispering that space itself belonged to the humans now. And in the command centers of Earth, the admirals watched with steady eyes. Every strike was planned, every battle chosen carefully. They were not reckless. They were patient hunters dismantling the galaxy piece by piece. Admiral Carter stood before his officers, the room glowing with holographic maps. Red marks showed destroyed fleets, broken convoys, shattered stations. The galaxy was bleeding. They thought we were weak, he said quietly. They thought we would beg for mercy. But now they beg, and we will not stop. The officers nodded, their faces grim. They knew what the galaxy had done. They remembered the laughter, the insults, the cruelty, and they knew humanity's fury would not rest until every empire understood one truth: Earth bows to no one. As the fleets moved deeper into alien space, one message spread across the stars, whispered in fear, shouted in anger, written in fire. On the ruins of ships, the humans are hunting us. And in the dark silence of the galaxy, humanity smiled. The galaxy thought it had seen the worst of humanity. They had witnessed convoys vanish, fleets destroyed, colonies defended by hunters in the dark. But what came next was beyond imagination. The empires had had enough. Tired of fear, tired of whispers, tired of the shame, they united once more. An alliance of alien powers gathered their strength. Hundreds of battleships, thousands of cruisers, and countless fighters filled the void. They declared boldly, "This time the humans will fall. This time, we will burn Earth to ash." The Grand Armada advanced, moving through human space like a tidal wave. Entire sectors shook under their engines. Alien leaders boasted on every channel, their voices full of false courage. Humanity's tricks end here. We will erase them once and for all. But Earth was ready. Deep within the asteroid belt, humanity's hidden fleet stirred. Sovereign-class destroyers, massive like floating cities, powered up. Their cannons charged, their missile silos opened, their railguns hummed with thunder. Carriers released swarms of drones, each programmed with deadly precision. The humans had waited patiently, and now the trap was ready. The Armada entered the Sol system with arrogance, their banners flying, their weapons glowing. But as soon as they crossed the line, their sensors screamed. Shadows moved in the dark. Dozens of human ships uncloaked from asteroid fields, from moons, from behind planets. Humanity's full fleet revealed itself for the first time. The galaxy froze. No longer a handful of hunters. No longer whispers of shadows. Now humanity stood as a wall of steel and fire. The battle began with silence. For a heartbeat, the two sides faced each other, engines burning in the void. Then Admiral Carter's voice echoed across human channels. Let them feel what they mocked. Let them know what they feared. Unleash Earth's wrath. The first shot came from Iron Resolve. Its railgun thundered, launching a slug that tore through an alien battleship, splitting it in two. A second destroyer followed, blasting a cruiser apart. Then the skies erupted in fire. Missiles streaked like storms. Energy beams lit up the blackness. Drone swarms flooded enemy lines, slicing through defenses like knives. Human frigates darted between the giants, striking engines and reactors with ruthless accuracy. The alien fleet answered with fury. Their cannons roared, their beams slashed. Their fighters swarmed. Explosions lit the void as ships on both sides fell. But humanity did not retreat. They pressed forward, relentless, unstoppable. Sovereign-class destroyers took the lead. Their armor absorbed punishment that would have shattered alien ships. Their railguns fired again and again, each shot breaking another vessel. Alien shields collapsed under the relentless storm. One alien admiral screamed into comms, "It is impossible. They are only one world. How can they stand against us?" But humanity was not just one world anymore. They were every colony that had been attacked, every family that had been enslaved, every soul that had been mocked. They fought with the fury of survival, and nothing in the galaxy could match that. The battle raged for hours. Alien formations broke apart. Command ships were destroyed, their leaders silenced in fire. Fighters scattered, only to be cut down by human swarms. Entire fleets vanished into wreckage, their pride burned away. And then came the moment the galaxy would never forget. Humanity's flagship, Resolute, moved into the center of the battle. Surrounded on all sides, it unleashed its full power. Railguns fired in rapid succession, tearing apart cruisers. Missiles launched in waves, detonating across enemy lines. Its drone swarms split and reformed, overwhelming entire squadrons. In one devastating barrage, Resolute destroyed 10 ships at once. The void lit up like a second sun. The alien armada collapsed. Survivors screamed for retreat, but there was no escape. Hyperspace drives failed under human jamming. Every path was cut off. The hunters had closed the trap. When it ended, silence filled the stars. Wreckage drifted endlessly, the remains of the galaxy's mightiest fleets, now nothing more than debris. Earth's warships stood tall, their banners glowing, their weapons still armed. The galaxy had thrown everything at humanity. And humanity had crushed them. From that day, the galaxy would remember the truth. Humanity was no longer the weak species mocked in council chambers. Humanity was wrath, steel, and fire. Humanity was the predator that no one dared to provoke again. And as Earth's fleets drifted in victory, Admiral Carter spoke one final command, his voice echoing across every surviving alien channel. "You laughed at us. You called us weak. You hunted us. But now you know the truth. Humanity is the fear you can never escape." The transmission ended, the fleets withdrew, and the galaxy shivered in silence.